I bet you didn't know that when Lionel Messi signed for Barcelona, he had never kicked a ball in his life. But what he had done is he had watched hours and hours and hours of YouTube tutorials on how to play football. And through watching all those tutorials, he became the best player in the world. Obviously, I'm fucking pulling your leg. He probably has never watched a YouTube tutorial on how to play football in his life. Maybe later into his career, to really take himself to the next level, I'm sure he did some video analysis of his games and other players to try and imitate them. And I'm sure he watched a lot of football himself. So that's not to say that watching YouTube tutorials or watching someone at the top of their game perform doesn't help out at all. But the real work into achieving something great in life is by getting out there and making as many mistakes as possible, seeking failure and learning through taking action. So what I want to achieve from this video is I want to help you stop watching YouTube videos and teach you how to get outside and to take action to get you to where you want to go the fastest and most efficient way possible. And so I want to start off by looking at why procrastination and escapism happen so often in our lives and why we hide behind planning and theorizing as ways of being productive. Very simply, it's because those things protect us from the feelings that are lying underneath. And using myself as an example, I know that posting YouTube videos once a week and posting short form content every day is going to get more clients into my business, and it's going to allow me to help more people in my life, which is a metric of success that I value. However, every time I sit down to record a video, I get extremely nervous and I'm worried, A, that people aren't going to see the video, and B, that people are going to see the video and aren't going to like it or are going to make fun of me and think what I'm saying is complete and utter crap. The thing is I know it's irrational, and I know that the advice I put out there and the videos that I make are pretty good quality and deliver real value to people. And so I'm really proud of those things. And yet that innate feeling in the back of my head still stops me from sitting down and making these videos. And so often when I find a time to sit down and make these videos and put them out there, instead I'll say to myself, actually I should watch an hour of YouTube videos on how to make YouTube videos, instead of just making one myself and learning and making mistakes going along the way. And lo and behold, the process of putting out these videos helps me learn way more about making YouTube than watching a video about making videos ever would. Obviously, this can be applied to any aspect of your life. And so what I want to do now is give you a small task to give you some practical help. I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to write 3 things in your life that you do that are a form of escapism. Effectively actions that you take to hide yourself from a feeling that you don't love about yourself too much. Do you doom scroll TikTok to appease that feeling of inadequacy? Do you swipe endlessly on dating apps to make you feel less lonely? Or do you take drugs and alcohol because it numbs you temporarily from feelings of unhappiness and knowing that you're not putting everything you can into your life? And next to each one of those things, I want you to write down one small action that you can go out and fail on that will help you overcome those feelings. And I'm not necessarily asking you to do those actions now. I just want us to start off by being aware of what we're doing, because that can come later on. And one of the biggest hurdles to this kind of work is going out the blocks really hard for the first 2 weeks, feeling motivated and energized, and then 2 or 3 weeks in, we're absolutely exhausted and we give up and then stop doing the work because it's just been too overwhelming. And the reason that will keep happening is because we look at things too far in the future, and our brain simply can't comprehend having to put in all that work and all that energy for so long. And so the crushing weight of having to do this for the next 60 years breaks us and we just stop. So instead what we need to do is we need to just commit to doing it for 1 month, and we need to tell our brain a lie and saying at the end of this first month we're going to quit and go back to our old ways. So that itch that we have in our brain to be lousy and lazy is scratched, because it knows that eventually we're going to get back to it. However, what we're really doing is committing to be disciplined and motivated just for a month, and we're going to use our willpower and we're going to resist against the urges not to do it, because in that time we're going to develop a habit and we're going to build enough momentum to the point where it no longer requires discipline and motivation to overcome it, and it just becomes a naturally ingrained part of our life. And so with this approach, that's how you're able to sustain it for longer than just a couple of weeks. And before I get into the last part of this video, which is about how failure can be your best friend if you utilize it in the right way, I want to explain that every single person has a gap in their life between the life that they're currently living and the life that they would love to live. And the first stage of closing that gap is being aware of what elements and what behaviors are keeping you suppressed and stuck in that life. So I built a free diagnostic quiz, which takes about 90 seconds to complete. It's 10 very simple questions, and it will tell you exactly what part of your life is keeping you stuck. You can find the link to it below in the description. I'd love for you to drop me a message or comment exactly what it gave you and what small actions you think you can do to help rectify and move forward from where you are now. So to summarize what we've already spoken about, failure can be our best friend. And the reason it can be our best friend is because embracing it and championing every time you get something wrong, we can get to where we want to be much faster. Progress isn't linear. It's not about how much time has passed or about how much time you've put in. It's about how many attempts that you've made. Whether 20 attempts takes you 5 years or whether 20 attempts takes you a day, that's how quickly that you progress. And so if I was to tell you that success would be guaranteed on the 21st try of anything, between 1 and 20, you'd probably get those done a lot quicker, and you'd celebrate each success because you knew that it was taking you closer to where you want to go. And although that number is made up, the circumstance is actually true for all of us. And I know it's really difficult because we now live in a society where we really champion all the highlights and all these Instagram reels and TikTok videos where it's showing the best bits in life. It really doesn't show us how much failure has gone into every amount of success. The people who have the most success in life haven't failed less times. They've just learned how to dust themselves off, go again, and learn from those mistakes. The reason Erling Haaland is the best striker in world football at the moment is because every time that he misses something, he puts it out of his mind, he learns from it, and he puts all his energy and focus onto making sure the next attempt is perfect. And having that mentality to block out things that have gone wrong and just to focus on the success that's coming towards you is paramount to getting things right. So a little exercise that I want to leave you with is I want you to write down one thing that you know that you're putting off because you're too scared of putting yourself out there. And I just want you to write down one very small action that you can do every day that will get you closer. And underneath that, I want you to write down one action that you can take that you expect to fail on the first attempt or the first few attempts. And I want you to go out and do it anyway. Now, usually I end these videos by telling you to watch the next video that YouTube recommends because it's great for my algorithm and it'll get me more views and eventually make me more money and help me bring in new clients. But today I want you to close off your laptop. I want you to close off your phone. I want you to get outside and go and search for failure and mistakes. And I guarantee you that in a few months' time you'll look back and you'll realize that the idea of failure is far worse than the actual reality of it. Good luck out there and let me know how you're getting on.